The Ten Commandments, or Decalogue, are ethical guidelines given by God to the Israelites found in Exodus and Deuteronomy. They establish fundamental principles for a just life and correct relationships with God and others, forming a moral foundation in Judeo-Christian traditions. Moses ascended Mount Sinai, where he received these divine commandments amidst a powerful storm, symbolizing the gravity of this moment. With unwavering conviction, he returned to the Israelites, ready to share these sacred laws that would guide them towards righteousness. The commandments were inscribed on stone tablets, later transcribed onto scrolls, preserving their significance through generations. In today's world, people from various cultures come together contemplating these timeless principles that promote harmony and justice. In modern times, the Ten Commandments inspire artists who create murals that bring these ancient teachings to life within urban spaces. Education plays a crucial role as teachers guide students in understanding the importance of these commandments in fostering ethical behavior and community values. The first commandment, found in Exodus, establishes the centrality of God in the lives of the Israelites. It demands exclusive loyalty and worship to God alone. This commandment is significant because it rejects polytheism and idolatry, asserting that God is the only true God worthy of worship. It stresses the importance of undivided devotion to God, which underpins the entire covenant relationship between God and his people. For believers today, it serves as a reminder to prioritize God above all other interests, desires, or distractions that might take his place in their hearts. The first commandment continues to resonate through generations, guiding believers in their journey of faith and commitment. It encourages individuals to reflect on their relationship with God and the importance of keeping him at the center of their lives. Ultimately, the first commandment challenges us to evaluate our priorities and ensure that our hearts are aligned with God's will. It invites believers to embrace a life devoted to God, reaffirming his place as the foremost priority in all aspects of existence. The second commandment, found in Exodus, prohibits the making and worship of any graven images or idols, emphasizing that God is spirit and cannot be represented by physical objects or images. This commandment teaches that God is beyond human understanding and cannot be confined to any created thing. It serves as a warning against reducing God to something that is tangible and manageable by human hands, reminding believers that God's majesty and transcendence must be respected and revered. The prohibition against idols also protects the integrity of true worship, ensuring that people do not replace the Creator with creation. This commandment serves to remind the faithful of the importance of honoring God in his true essence, free from the limitations of human imagination. It encourages believers to seek a deeper relationship with God, one that transcends material representations and embraces his spirit. In acknowledging God's absolute nature, believers are called to approach worship with sincerity and dedication, focusing on his spirit rather than physical representations. The third commandment, found in Exodus, forbids using God's name in a disrespectful or irreverent way. To take the name of the Lord in vain means to use God's name flippantly, carelessly, or falsely, such as in swearing, cursing, or making false oaths. This commandment underscores the sacredness of God's name and the need for reverence in all matters relating to God. It calls believers to speak of God with the utmost respect and to avoid using his name for selfish or trivial purposes. It highlights the importance of integrity in one's speech, especially when invoking God's name in promises or vows. The third commandment serves as a reminder that speaking God's name carries weight and should always be done with deep respect. Understanding its meaning encourages believers to cultivate a deeper relationship with God through respectful communication. Embracing the essence of this commandment can lead to a life filled with integrity, respect, and meaningful connections to faith. Ultimately, the third commandment invites us to reflect on how we speak of God and to align our words with our deepest conviction. The fourth commandment, found in Exodus, calls for the observance of the Sabbath day as a day of rest and worship. This commandment is rooted in God's own example of resting on the seventh day after creation. The Sabbath is a reminder that God is the Creator, and that all creation is to rest and be renewed in him. By setting aside one day each week to rest from work, believers demonstrate trust in God's provision and recognize their dependence on him. The Sabbath is also a day for worship, reflection, and rejuvenation of the spirit, fostering a deeper relationship with God. For Christians, the Sabbath points to the ultimate rest found in Christ. The observance of the Sabbath serves as a sacred time to reconnect with faith and find serenity in God's presence. Through this practice, believers cultivate a deeper sense of purpose and peace, drawing closer to their Creator. Observing the Sabbath not only honors God's command, but also nurtures relationships within families and communities. This sacred time fosters connections among loved ones, reinforcing the importance of love and community. What is the purpose of the fifth commandment? Honor your father and mother. The fifth commandment found in Exodus emphasizes the importance of honoring one's parents. This commandment is foundational to the structure of society, as it upholds respect for authority and the family unit. Honoring parents involves more than mere obedience. It includes showing respect, gratitude, and care for their well-being. The commandment promises a long and prosperous life to those who honor their parents, suggesting that familial respect contributes to societal stability and individual flourishing. In a broader sense, honoring parents reflects a person's attitude toward God's authority, as parents are entrusted with the responsibility of raising their children in the knowledge of God. The sixth commandment found in Exodus prohibits murder, affirming the sanctity of human life as a gift from God, teaching respect for all people as bearers of God's image. Jesus expanded this by condemning hatred and anger, emphasizing peace and care for others. As dawn breaks, it serves as a reminder of the preciousness of life and the opportunity we have to respect and uplift each other in our daily interactions. Innocent laughter fills the air as children play together, embodying the belief that all lives are valuable and deserving of kindness, while adults nurture this sense of community through shared stories and teachings. The community comes together, breaking bread and building connections, reflecting the teachings of respect and love for one another that transcend differences. In the quiet of a place of worship, the congregation unites in prayer, echoing the call to honor life, while volunteers serve others, putting love into action through acts of caring. The flicker of a candle reminds us of the hope we carry within, while murals around the city boldly declare our shared commitment to love and understanding across all walks of life. The seventh commandment teaches that marriage, defined as a sacred covenant between a man and a woman, requires unwavering faithfulness and sexual purity, reflecting the profound relationship between Christ and his church. This commandment underscores the importance of sexual purity as a crucial aspect of honoring the marital covenant, reinforcing that trust is essential in the relationship between husband and wife. Adultery not only disrupts the bond between partners, but also distorts the true image of God's faithful love for his people, highlighting the serious implications of disobedience to this commandment. Jesus illuminated the essence of the seventh commandment by teaching that even lustful thoughts can lead one astray, reminding us that sexual purity encompasses both our actions and the intentions of our hearts. Through these lessons, the seventh commandment calls us to embrace a higher standard of conduct, nurturing both our thoughts and actions to truly honor the sacred nature of marriage. The teachings of the seventh commandment serve as a reminder that true love is steadfast, requiring dedication not just to one another, but also to the principles that define a healthy and enduring union. The eighth commandment found in Exodus prohibits stealing, highlighting the importance of respecting others' property and trusting in God's provision. It teaches that everything belongs to God and calls for honesty, integrity, and generosity towards the needy. In practicing these values, individuals strengthen their relationships and cultivate a spirit of community. Such actions create a ripple effect, inspiring others to embrace these principles and fostering a sense of belonging. By living out the teachings of the eighth commandment, communities become stronger and more resilient. These moments of giving not only uplift those in need, but also deepen the bonds within the community. As people embrace integrity and generosity, they create an environment where trust flourishes and relationships thrive. This unity fosters a culture of respect and mutual support, reinforcing the message that we are all stewards of what God has provided. Through these actions, communities not only honor their commitment to one another, but also honor the divine principles laid out in the eighth commandment. The ninth commandment found in Exodus forbids bearing false witness, highlighting the significance of truth in relationships and society. It prohibits lies, defamation, and deception, reflecting God's character and calling believers to honesty and integrity in all aspects of life. As people gather to discuss the implications of this commandment, they realize that truth is foundational for trust. This realization fosters deep connections among them, encouraging a commitment to uphold integrity in every aspect of life. In homes across the community, families exemplify the commandment by nurturing open communication where honesty strengthens their relationships. Meanwhile, individuals confront themselves recognizing that embracing truth is essential for personal growth and authentic living. In schools, educators emphasize the importance of the ninth commandment, teaching students about the role of honesty in shaping character. The young learners engage actively, understanding that truth not only builds trust, but also defines their future interactions and choices. The 10th commandment found in Exodus prohibits coveting what belongs to others, teaching that sin begins with internal desires. It calls believers to trust in God's provision, cultivate contentment, and seek His justice above all. As believers ponder this commandment, they reflect on how desires can lead to discontentment and moral failures. The church remains a place of healing and guidance where individuals gather to seek a deeper understanding of faith. In those quiet moments of reflection, they realize that true fulfillment comes from within and not from material wealth. They learn to embrace gratitude and seek God's righteousness as their ultimate aspiration. As they strengthen their bonds with one another, they discover that joy can be found in simplicity and shared experiences. Together, they stand as a testament to the peace that comes from trusting in God's provision. Through acts of kindness and service, they embody the very essence of the 10th commandment. Their efforts to love their neighbors become a vibrant expression of faith, demonstrating that abundance is found in giving.